Hello everyone. Welcome to the virtual class of Redemption of Redeemable Preference Shares, popularly known as RPS. In previous sessions, I have discussed practical problems related to redemption of RPS. I have also discussed different situations related to the arrangement of the fund for capital part. Now, in this session, I would like to discuss an important practical question. This question is similar to the question number 7 discussed by me in previous sessions. Let us focus on the question first. Following is the summarized balance sheet of Gajanan Limited as on 31st March 2019. Equity share capital of rupees 100 each, rupees 80 paid up per share, total 8 lakhs. 12% redeemable preference shares of rupees 100 each, rupees 75 paid up, total 3 lakhs. 13% redeemable preference shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid up, total 4 lakhs. We have general reserve of rupees 15 lakhs, profit and loss account for 80,000, securities premium available on liability side of the balance sheet 60,000, creditors 2 lakhs 30,000, bills payable 18,000 and outstanding expenses 2,000. On the asset side of the balance sheet, we have land for rupees 5 lakhs 40,000, building for rupees 10 lakhs, plant and machinery rupees 2 lakhs, and furniture for rupees 1 lakh 50,000. Investments available in the balance sheet of the company for rupees 2 lakhs and stock for 2 lakhs 50,000, bank balance for 5 lakhs and debtors for 5 lakhs 50,000 available on asset side of the balance sheet. Let us go through the additional information provided by the examiner to us. It was decided to redeem 12% RPS at a premium of 8% and 13% RPS at a premium of 10% on the date of balance sheet. As you all know that it is up to the company to offer the redemption premium to the holders of redeemable preference shares. Here, company offered 8% redemption premium to the owner of 12% RPS and 10% redemption premium to the owners of 13% RPS. It is possible for the company to change the rate of redemption premium for different categories of redeemable preference shares. We have discussed same kind of adjustment in previous session. If you simply recall the earlier session, you can easily connect the information with this. After taking into consideration necessary provisions of Companies Act 2013, not necessary to mention in any question. As we all know, it is compulsory for each and every company to follow the provisions of Section 55 of the Companies Act 2013. So if it is written in the question or not, it is compulsory for the company to follow the provisions of the Act. Investments were sold at rupees 1,80,000. Cost price of the investment is given to us on asset side of the balance sheet rupees 2 lakhs and we have sold our investment for rupees 1,80,000. So there is a loss of rupees 20,000. We will calculate everything at the time of solution of the problem. Now, bank balance is to maintained in the business is rupees 80,000. With this particular line, the examiner has provided information to us regarding closing bank balance. We want to keep 80,000 rupees in a bank account at the end of the process of redemption. This is the turning point of our solution. As you all know, because we are discussing these kind of adjustment from last 4 to 5 sessions. For this purpose, 12% cumulative preference shares of rupees 100 each were issued at par, that is a face value, in adequate number. So we will decide numbers of new cumulative preference shares issued by the company. Afterwards, on the same date, one bonus share for 4 equity shares held to be given, and bonus was declared for converting partly paid equity shares into fully paid equity shares. Again, question of a declaration of bonus with both the varieties available to us. First bonus to convert partly paid shares into fully paid shares, and a second bonus that is a new issue or fresh issue of bonus share. Pass necessary journal entries in the books of the company. So here we have to prepare only journal entries, but you can prepare balance sheet of this question after discussion of everything. I hope the question is very much clear to you, and it is necessary for all of us to understand the question first. If the question is clear, it is very easy for us to answer any question in the examination. After understanding of the question properly, let us move to the solution of the problem. As a part of the solution, we have to calculate profit or loss on sale of investment. As you all know that the information regarding investment is given in the balance sheet of the company. So in the balance sheet, the cost price is given for rupees 2 lakhs. As per the additional information provided to us over here, we have sold our investment for rupees 1,80,000. Cost price is 2 lakhs, sale price is 1,80,000. It means that the company is suffering a loss of rupees 20,000 in this transaction. We have received 1,80,000 out of the sale of investment. The company is facing a loss of rupees 20,000. So journal entry for this transaction: bank account debited 1,80,000, profit and loss account debited rupees 20,000 to investments account rupees 2 lakhs. In this way, we have to calculate everything and we have to pass journal entries in the books. For the purpose of easy understanding, I have passed journal entries over here. But you can prepare a systematic table at the end of calculation, and it is compulsory. So always prepare systematic format of the journal entries, that is a date, particular, ledger folio number, debit amount and credit amount. The format of journal entry is not new for you. Next and most important calculation. It is all about numbers of shares. If you refer the balance sheet given in our question, numbers of shares are not given. Equity share capital of rupees 100 each, rupees 80 paid up per share, total 8 lakhs. But numbers of equity shares are not given. 12% RPS of rupees 100 each, rupees 75 paid up, rupees 3 lakhs. But numbers of 12% redeemable preference shares are not given. 13% RPS of rupees 10 each, fully paid up, rupees 4 lakhs. Here also numbers of redeemable preference shares are not given. So when numbers of shares are not given, it is always necessary for us to calculate the numbers of shares first. because we are in need of numbers of shares at many places for the purpose of calculation. Let us calculate numbers of equity shares. Simply, we have to apply a formula. Paid up capital divided by amount paid up per share. Let us visit the question again. Paid up capital in total is rupees 8 lakhs and amount paid up per share is rupees 80. So 8 lakhs divided by 80. So numbers of equity shares are 10,000. Now, similar calculation is applicable for 12% RPS, that is RPS 1. Paid up capital divided by amount paid up per share. Total paid up capital for 12% RPS is rupees 3 lakhs and per share it is rupees 75. So total number of 12% RPS 4,000 and RPS 2, that is the 13% RPS. Same formula, paid up capital divided by amount paid up per share. Rupees 4 lakhs divided by paid up amount rupees 10, because these shares are fully paid up, and as the shares are fully paid up we have to divide with the face value only. So in this way we can calculate the numbers of equity shares: 10,000, RPS 1 4,000 and RPS 2 40,000. Before starting calculation of our answer for the redemption part, it is necessary for all of us to calculate the numbers of shares at first priority, so as we can calculate our entire answer very smoothly without any kind of disturbance. Let us move to step number 1. Step number 1 is amount received on final call. Right from the first lecture of the chapter, I am discussing with you that as per the provisions of section 55 of the Companies Act 2013, it is not possible for the company to redeem partly paid RPS. So obviously, if the shares are partly paid up, we have to make it fully paid up by making a final call. Let us analyze the situation. If we analyze the situation properly, we can easily find the shares whether they are partly paid up or fully paid up. The first category of RPS, that is a 12% RPS. Face value of the RPS is rupees 100 and paid up value of the share is rupees 75. So you can say that 12% RPS is a partly paid RPS. Again, we have one more variety of RPS, that is a 13% RPS. Face value of 13% RPS is rupees 10 and paid up value of 13% RPS is rupees 10. So face value is a 10, paid up value is also 10. It means 13% RPS is referred to as fully paid up. As you all know, we are nothing to do with fully paid up preference shares, but on partly paid up preference shares we have to make a call, and the amount of call per share is rupees 25. That you can easily connect with the information provided to us over here. Let us check. Face value is rupees 100 and a paid up amount is rupees 75. So 100 minus 75 is equal to 25 rupees per share. And we have to make a call on 4,000 redeemable preference shares. Just to recall, we have completed calculation of numbers of shares before a few minutes. And that is why I informed you at the time of discussion that always calculate numbers of shares if they are missing. Now, on 4,000 shares at the rate of rupees 25 per share, the company has to receive rupees 1 lakh. Now it's very simple for us to pass the journal entry. Final call on a preference share account debited rupees 1 lakh to 12% RPS capital account 1 lakh. In the first entry, we have made a call or the amount due on final call from the 12% RPS. And the second entry is all about receiving the money on final call. As we have received rupees 1 lakh, bank account debited rupees 1 lakh to final call on preference shares account 1 lakh. Nothing is new in this calculation. We have completed this kind of calculation at many places. Now, let us move to the second item. Second step is all about calculation of amount payable to the RPS holders. If you refer the question very carefully, you can find that the company has decided to redeem both the varieties of preference shares at a premium, and the rate of premiums are different. So on first RPS capital, that is 12% RPS capital, face value 4,000 shares at the rate of rupees 100, so 4 lakhs, plus RPS redemption premium at the rate of 8%. This 8% is clearly given to us in our question. So 8% of these 4 lakhs is rupees 32,000. And on 13% RPS, 40,000 shares multiplied by 10 rupees face value. So capital is rupees 4 lakhs. And these preference shares are redeemable at 10% premium. The information is clearly given. So 10% of these 4 lakhs is rupees 40,000. So total amount payable by the company to the holders of RPS rupees 8 lakhs 72,000. 4 lakhs rupees plus 4 lakhs rupees, that is total 8 lakhs rupees for capital, and 32,000 rupees and 40,000 rupees is equal to total 72,000 rupees for premium. 8 lakhs for capital and 72,000 rupees for premium. Let us pass a journal entry for this transaction. 12% RPS capital account debited 4 lakhs, 13% RPS capital account debited 4 lakhs, RPS redemption premium account debited 72,000 to RPS holders account 8 lakhs 72,000, being total amount redeemable to the holders of redeemable preference shares. Let us move to the third and most important step of our RPS redemption. It is all about arrangement of fund for capital part. In previous many sessions, we have discussed these kind of adjustment. Simply, we have to calculate everything and we have to make it fix. Total amount required for capital part is rupees 8 lakhs. How many new preference shares issued by the company? That is not given to us. And in this situation, we are not able to find the amount transferred by the company to CRR, that is a capital redemption reserve account. Here, our calculation is based on one of the important calculation, and this calculation is based on closing balance. If you refer the question, it is clearly mentioned that at the end of the RPS redemption process, we are in need of rupees 80,000 in the bank account of the company. So we have to calculate everything by keeping the figure of bank balance in our mind. The closing bank balance should be 80,000 rupees in any situation. Let us collect the data. We have prepared a list. We have opening balance of rupees 5 lakhs that is available to us on asset side of the balance sheet given in our question. We have received rupees 1,80,000 by selling our investment. We have also received rupees 1 lakh on final call from 12% redeemable preference shares. And last but not least, we have to pay rupees 8 lakh 72,000 to the holders of RPS. We have these many items related to the transaction of the bank, but the main transaction is how many numbers of new shares issued by the company. It is not given to us by the examiner, and our entire exercise is based on this theory. Let us prepare a statement that we have prepared in earlier sessions. Opening balance 5 lakhs rupees as given to us in the balance sheet. Add 1,80,000 rupees that we have received by selling our investment. 1 lakh rupees added to the balance because we have received rupees 1 lakh on 12% RPS. Then we have to receive something, but we don't know the figure of that something by issuing the new security. So we cannot come to the conclusion of the total amount in the bank. So we have kept it as it is in form of question mark. We also know that we have to pay total amount of rupees 8,72,000 to our shareholders. We have completed calculation of 8,72,000 while calculation of step number 2, amount redeemable to RPS holders. And we also know the closing bank balance that we have to maintain at the end of the process, because it is also given to us as a part of the question in additional information. Now it's a very much simple if we have all the information. 80,000 plus 8,72,000. So our total requirement is rupees 9,52,000. We have 5 lakhs rupees as opening balance, 1,80,000 rupees received on sale of investment, and 1 lakh rupees received as a final call on RPS. So we have total amount of rupees 7,80,000 in our account. Now just think, we have 7,80,000 rupees in our account and we are in need of rupees 9,52,000. So what is the required amount? The required or missing amount is rupees 1,72,000. In this way, we can calculate the amount required by the company using the new issue of securities. We are following this kind of exercise from last a few questions, so it is not new for you. But in this particular question, I would like to discuss one important item for you. Right now, we are following the preparation of a statement, but it is not necessary. You can prepare these kind of bank account in order to find the missing amount of rupees 1,72,000. It is simply a bank account. Whatever the ledger, we have to prepare a ledger based on the journal entry. Just check. We have opening balance of rupees 5 lakhs in our balance sheet. When we have sold our investment for rupees 1,80,000, bank account debited for rupees 1,80,000. When we have received amount on final call from 12% RPS, we have passed a journal entry called bank account debited to final call. So again, bank account is debited for 1 lakh. When we used to pay amount to the holders of RPS, bank account is credited with 8,72,000 and closing bank balance is given to us for 80,000. So you can prepare a bank account if you wish to prepare. It is not necessary and it is not mentioned anywhere to prepare the bank account in order to find out the amount required by the company or amount to be collected by the company using a new issue. This statement format is a vertical presentation of all the information of receipt and payment, and bank account is horizontal presentation of all receipt and payment. So you are free to calculate amount required by the company using the new issue, either following the statement that we are following, or you can prepare the bank account. Choice is yours. Ultimately, there is no difference in the answer. Simply, it is the different way of presentation. So, you can calculate the missing amount using any of the mode, either statement or account. Let us move ahead for our solution. The next part of our solution is arrangement of the fund for capital part, and we have already completed our calculation, and on the basis of our calculation we can say that we are in need of rupees 1,72,000. As per the additional information given to us by the examiner in the question, we have to issue new securities of rupees 100 at par. It means we have to issue new securities at face value only. So amount received per share is rupees 100. Now it's a very simple. As a student of accountancy, commerce and management, it is very easy for you to understand that we are in need of rupees 1,72,000 in total, and we can collect 100 rupees per share. So 1,72,000 divided by 100 rupees per share is equal to 1,720 new 12% preference shares issued by the company. Once you calculate numbers of new shares issued by the company, it is very easy for you to adjust the fund for the capital part. Total amount required rupees 8 lakhs. Out of these 8 lakhs, 1720 numbers of preference shares multiplied by face value 100. Total amount collected by the company using a new issue is 1,72,000, and rest of rupees 6,28,000 to be collected by the company, creating CRR, that is capital redemption reserve. Now check liability side of the balance sheet and you can find the enough amount in the general reserve of the company. So it's a very easy for us to collect the fund to create CRR. We have to transfer amount from general reserve account to capital redemption reserve account. Let us move to the journal entries for both these transactions. And it's a very simple for us to pass journal entries. First journal entry related to issue of securities. Bank account debited 1,72,000 to 12% preference share capital account 1,72,000. Here, for the purpose of your step-to-step understanding, I am passing the journal entries with each and every calculation. It is not necessary for you to prepare journal entries step to step. You can prepare journal entries at the end of your all calculations. And second, amount transferred to capital redemption reserve, that is CRR account. So it's a very simple if you refer the information very properly. Let us move to step number 4. Step number 4 is all about adjustment of RPS redemption premium. Let me revise provisions of section 55 of the Companies Act 2013. It is necessary for the company to adjust RPS redemption premium against security premium account first. If the amount of security premium is not enough or security premium account is not given to us, then we can utilize the balance from profit and loss account. So let us find the figure of total amount of RPS redemption premium. Simply, if you revise step number 2, In step number 2, we have completed calculation of amount redeemable to RPS holders. On the basis of that calculation, we have decided to pay rupees 72,000 as a total premium on both the categories of RPS. Now check balance sheet given to us in our question. Security premium account is available for 60,000 rupees and no more entries available to us for security premium. It means what? We are in need of total 72,000. We have 60,000 rupees in a security premium account. So, remaining rupees 12,000 adjusted by the company using profit and loss account. If amount of security premium is more than enough, then we are not looking forward for profit and loss. But here we need total rupees 72,000. Security premium is available only for 60,000. So it is compulsory for us to arrange rupees 12,000 from profit and loss account. Journal entry, security premium account debited 60,000. Profit and loss account debited 12,000 to RPS redemption premium account 72,000. So in this way, we can adjust RPS redemption premium. Step number 5, the most easiest step that we can do without any kind of calculation. Payment to RPS holders. No adjustments are given to us anywhere in our question. So simply we have to pay amount to RPS holders that we have decided during calculation in step number 2. As per step number 2, we have to pay total rupees 8,72,000 to the holders of RPS. So let us pay the amount without wasting a moment. RPS holders account debited rupees 8,72,000 to bank account 8,72,000. Matter comes to an end for payment. Now, the most important part of this particular question that I have discussed even in a previous session. Here, the company is required to issue bonus, but the bonus is divided into two parts. First part of bonus, that is to convert the partly paid equity shares into fully paid shares. And for this particular purpose, we have to follow 3 steps. First, arrangement of the fund. Second, we have to make a final call on equity shares for the remaining amount. And number 3, that is adjustment of final call against declaration of bonus. Second, to issue fully paid bonus equity shares. And we have to follow 2 steps for this. The first, arrangement of the fund, and the second one, allotment of bonus equity shares. At this point of discussion, I would like to put to your notice that second step is connected with the redemption of RPS, and we can utilize CRR capital redemption reserve for second part of our transaction. The first part has nothing to do with this process because as per the provisions of Companies Act 2013 section 55, a company cannot issue bonus to convert partly paid shares into fully paid equity shares utilizing capital redemption reserve. This is the provision. But anyways, we are not finding any kind of problem in this too because we know how to do it. The first item is amount required to convert partly paid shares into fully paid. Numbers of equity shares 10,000. Just to recall the first part of our solution. Before starting the process of redemption, we have completed calculation of numbers of equity shares, 10,000. These numbers of equity shares are useful to us over here. If you are not going to calculate over there, it is compulsory for you to calculate over here. So it is advisable to calculate before beginning of the solution. 10,000 equity share. Face value is rupees 100 and paid up amount was rupees 80. If you refer the balance sheet, you can easily find the figure. So out of 100 rupees, 80 rupees are paid up. So 20 rupees required to call. So on 10,000 shares at the rate of rupees 20, the total amount required to collect by the company is rupees 2 lakhs. Here, company decided to offer bonus for these 2 lakhs rupees. Let us pass a journal entry. We have enough amount into general reserve account of the company. So first of all, we have to arrange the fund from general reserve. General reserve account debited rupees 2 lakhs to bonus to shareholders account rupees 2 lakhs. Being bonus declared out of general reserve. Then we have to make a final call, that is step number 2. Final call on equity shares account debited rupees 2 lakhs to equity share capital account rupees 2 lakhs. Being amount due on final call at the rate of rupees 20 per share on 10,000 shares. And third one, bonus to shareholders account debited rupees 2 lakhs to final call on equity shares rupees 2 lakhs. Being amount of bonus utilized for paying final calls. If you connect all three journal entries, bonus to shareholders account, bonus to shareholders account, automatically set off. Final call on equity shares account debited 2 lakhs to final call on equity shares account debited 2 lakhs. So if you eliminate the entry, if you remove the entry from your calculation, the last and final entry that affects to your calculation is general reserve 2 lakhs and equity share capital 2 lakhs. But we have to follow all three steps very properly. So it is necessary for us to prepare all three journal entries for all three steps one by one. So in this way, we can issue the bonus to the holders of equity shareholder in order to convert partly paid shares into fully paid. But always remember, for the purpose of conversion, company cannot collect any fund from capital redemption reserve, that is CRR. Now, first part comes to an end with this. Enter into second part of the bonus. For the purpose of second part, we need not to worry because we have CRR, capital redemption reserve. Check the calculation, numbers of equity shares available to us. Numbers of equity shares are 10,000. I would like to inform you that bonus number 1, that is a conversion, and bonus number 2, that is a fresh or new issue of shares as a bonus. Both are different from each other. So don't try to connect step number 1, that is conversion, and step number 2, that is a new issue. Both steps are absolutely independent and we have to make all calculations independent. Numbers of equity shares. We have already completed calculation of numbers of equity shares in the beginning of the solution. As per the information, we have to issue the bonus in the ratio of 4:1. It means one bonus equity share is offered for 4 equity shares held. Simply, it is a cross multiplication. If you are owner of 4 shares, the company will offer you one bonus. So, on 10,000 numbers of equity shares available with the company, how many bonus shares are offered? So if you simply put cross multiplication, you can easily find the numbers of bonus shares issued by the company. Numbers of bonus issued by the company 2500 and face value is rupees 100. So total amount 2,50,000. This is a new issue of bonus share, and for this purpose we can collect the amount from CRR, that is a capital redemption reserve. CRR account debited rupees 2,50,000 to bonus to shareholders account 2,50,000. And second, bonus to shareholders account debited rupees 2,50,000 to equity share capital account 2,50,000. Even we have discussed these kind of transactions in all previous sessions. Bonus to shareholders account is a temporary account, so the direct entry or the direct effect will be there on CRR and equity share capital. Preparation of journal entries and calculations are most important part, and here I have followed two steps of calculations. First, announcement or declaration, and second, that is distribution. Now, in order to end our session, we have to prepare balance sheet, we have to prepare journal entries into systematic format. First entry, bank account debited 1,80,000, profit and loss account debited 20,000 to investment account 2 lakhs. We have sold our investment at a loss of rupees 20,000. We have received rupees 1 lakh on final call. Final call on preference shares account debited to 12% RPS capital account. We have received the amount on final call. Bank account debited to final call on preference shares account. Then amount payable to the holders of RPS. 12% RPS capital account debited, 13% RPS capital account debited, RPS redemption premium account debited to RPS holders account 8,72,000. Then we have issued new preference shares. Bank account debited 1,72,000 to 12% preference share capital account 1,72,000. We have transferred rupees 6,28,000 to CRR. General reserves account debited 6,28,000 to CRR account 6,28,000. Then we have adjusted RPS redemption premium. Securities premium account debited 60,000, profit and loss account debited 12,000, to RPS redemption premium account 72,000. The amount of security premium is not enough, so we have adjusted 12,000 rupees from profit and loss account. Then we have passed one more entry for the purpose of payment to the holders of RPS. RPS holders account debited 8,72,000 to bank account 8,72,000. Then we have to pass journal entries for bonus to convert partly paid shares into fully paid. For this, we are in need of 3 steps and 3 entries. First, we have transferred rupees 2 lakhs. General reserves account debited 2 lakhs to bonus to shareholders account 2 lakhs. Final call on equity share account debited 2 lakhs to equity share capital account 2 lakhs. And at the end, we have adjusted our final call against bonus to equity shareholders 2 lakhs. So in this way, we can convert our partly paid shares into fully paid using the bonus. And last, we have issued bonus equity shares to the holders of equity shares. We have transferred rupees 2,50,000 from CRR. So CRR account debited to bonus to shareholders and bonus to shareholders account debited to equity share capital account 2,50,000. This is all about the solution of the problem and journal entries for this particular problem. Now, based on this, if you wish to prepare balance sheet, you can prepare the balance sheet at your own using the same formation as we have discussed in previous sessions. I hope everybody is clear with the solution of the problem. Thank you. God bless you. Keep watching the next sessions.